So okay guys, I'm going to be making a whole lot of broccoli recipes this coming week. Now if you love broccoli and you want to know how you could make up broccoli in your kitchen real easy and simple and tasting good, well, these recipes are the recipes that you are going to love. I'm going to be making meatballs, I'm going to be making casseroles, I'm going to be making meatloaf, all kinds of goodies with this broccoli in my kitchen. So if you want to see how I make broccoli recipes in my kitchen like this one, come on.
Here comes a rude boy Jamaican.
Guys, welcome back again to my channel and to my kitchen. I'm going to make up this recipe using broccoli, only broccoli, vegetarian dishes. All right, this is for you. The next recipe from this one is also going to be a vegetarian vegan recipe as well using broccoli. I'm going to be making a meatloaf for you guys. It's going to be so nice, so delicious, so healthy, and this is especially for you guys. So if you want to see how I make up this meatloaf recipe, come on and you're definitely going to need your broccoli. Make sure your broccoli clean, washed, cut up nice. All right, you also going to need your chopped onion. I have some chopped yellow pepper and orange pepper. You could use green, you could use whatever you want to use, but that's the one I choose to use today for color and flavor as well. Now I'm also going to be adding my garlic. I'm also going to be using a half a cup of applesauce, and that is going to substitute out for the eggs that I'm not going to be putting in here. I have my black pepper, my salt, and my Jamaican all-purpose seasoning there. So that is what I'm going to use to spice it up. Now if you have the combo seasoning, go ahead and use it. If you don't have the combo seasoning, don't worry about it. Just make sure you have your Jamaican all-purpose seasoning. Some kind of a spice to spice up to give it flavor. Now guys, you have to have your vinegar. I love to cook with my vinegar. Vinegar is good for you from the inside out. Never cook without that. Now, I'm also going to be using two cups of raw oats. Alright? Granola oats, any kind of oats, but make sure you have oats to put in it. Now, to make my glaze, I'm going to use honey mustard. I'm also going to be using lemon juice. And I'm also going to be adding to that tomato paste or ketchup. I'm also going to be adding my maple syrup. And I'm going to put parsley and basil leaves in there as well. So that's what I'm going to use to make the glaze. So come on, let's get started. Okay guys, we are moving on to our very first step. I have my oil in my pot, and you don't want to put too much oil in that pot. You just want to have enough in there just to get your vegetables toasted up. So I'm going to go ahead and put my orange pepper and my yellow pepper in. And then I'm going to put my onions in. Then I'm going to put my broccoli in. Also going to add my garlic, my salt, my all-purpose seasoning, and my black pepper. And now guys, I'm going to add my combo seasoning. If you don't have combo seasoning, don't worry, that's okay. So I'm just going to add some of that in there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add some vinegar. That's a teaspoon of vinegar. That's all I'm going to do with this vegetable. Now I'm going to let this steam on medium heat for about 10 minutes. That's all I need is 10 minutes right here. Because remember, you're putting it in the oven and you don't want it to be too soft. So 10 minutes right there and I'm good. So let's move on to our next step. Okay guys, we are moving on to our next step. I have my 2 cups of oats in here. Add that in. And then I'm going to add my applesauce, because remember that applesauce is substituting for the eggs that I'm not going to be putting in there. So I'm just going to give that a little spinning. Just kind of bend it in a little bit. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add my vegetables in. Okay guys, that looks pretty good, and so I'm going to move on to my next step. Okay guys, so I'm moving on to my next step. I have the baking container here, and all I'm going to do is use my coconut cooking spray, or if you don't have that, use vegetable shortening or something like that, just to coat your inside of your dish, because you don't want it to stick. So that's all I'm doing right there. The next thing I'm going to do is put my mixture into my baking pan. And I'm just going to press it in and smooth it out. Okay guys, when you get it looking like that, you want to just, on the side of the container, you just press it down, just like that. So when you put your glaze in there, the glaze goes right down into the corner of that meatloaf. And that is how you want to have your corners looking. Alright, so let's move on and get our glaze ready. Okay guys, I am moving on to my next step, which is making my glaze for meatloaf. Now I'm going to be adding my honey mustard. And all the amount of everything will be down below, so do not panic. Now I'm also going to be putting in my maple syrup in there too. We're going to be adding our tomato paste, or if you don't have tomato paste, use ketchup. It's just fine. I'm also going to be adding my lemon juice, a pinch of oregano, and some parsley as well. I love parsley. Put a little bit more of that parsley in there. Mix that in real well. And that's how simple your glaze is. Just like that. So let's move on to the next step. Okay guys, we are moving on to the final step before you put it in the oven. Now your oven should be already on, and your oven should be on 350 degrees, and this is going to bake for about 45 minutes. Okay guys, so that is your meatloaf right there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this in the oven, and when I come back, that meatloaf is going to be done, so I will see you back. There you have it guys, my meatloaf is finished. Vegetarian vegetable meatloaf, no meat, all vegetables in here. If you ever smell my kitchen right now, the thing turn up loud, but I'm going to see the back for cut it. Alright, so okay guys, as you can see, my meatloaf is all finished, nice and cool, and I'm going to slice this thing so you guys could see what it looks like on the inside. And that is what it looks like on the inside of it. Yummy. Alright guys, go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see me cooking next in my kitchen. And as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, and I'm going to let this cook for a good 30 minutes on medium heat. Cover it up nice and make it simmer. And when it's done simmer, it's time for we eat. So see you back in a few minutes.
So this is in with your foundation, full coverage, you know, like bam. And last but not least, the last thing I tend to go for in my makeup collection is this palette right here. Let me show you what this baby looks like. It has a whole bunch of concealers. I believe it's $10 for this palette.